journal. I don't know if I'm gonna post this, but if I do, I want to be consistent with it. But yeah. So I'm gonna go for my trading journey and see how it goes. So here, I'm damn near blew my account. Damn near blew my account. So look, performance status. The first trade on this account, I lost 17. Then I made 2K, point 0.3 back, and then a winning day. And then today I took two trades. Last night I was on Asia session last night. It was a stupid confluence trade. Like I saw a volume imbalance and I answered off that, and it wasn't near my model. But today it was more confluence trade, but it wasn't A plus at all. It was like a C. And going into the day, on the 4 hour, as you can see, market opened, around here. As you can see, we were in a downtrend. And so going into the day, I saw this 4 hour gap that was placed before market open. And I just marked out my sell side and my buy side liquidity. And then also saw this 4 hour gap, but I went on the 1 hour instead. Just marking out my bias, which was bearish. I was looking for some shorts here. But, daily bias doesn't really matter because all that matters is what the market is telling you in the moment, as each candle is information that you have to grab. But for me personally, I didn't listen to what the market was telling me, as we respected this gap here. I didn't mark out because I don't know why I didn't mark it out, but going into this, we inversed this before market open, or during market open. No, not even midnight. Yeah, midnight. In London session, we inversed this gap and respected this gap. Okay, this is bullish signs, but we also have this 4 hour gap that we haven't, got into, and we currently inverse this gap here, so we might end up taking these highs here. But my bias was overall bearish, but obviously I won't tend my trade on just shorts if the market's not telling me that. But in the moment, we also created this 1 hour gap that we ended up tapping back into market open. On market open, we had this 15-minute gap that would have been my entry market open, but I don't really like trading market open just because it's high volatility. So, and also I would have, if I entered here off the CISD on the lower, let's see, let's go on the 5 minute. So this would have been my entry here. Let's go on the 2 minute. 1 minute market open. As you can see, we inversed this right away, but this candle just shot up. So if I would have ended taking up this trade after this CISD here, or after this inverse here, I would have put my stop in entering this 4 hour gap, and my stops obviously at the lows that we just swept. This would have been, because my model is based on my first stop of entering a trade is sweeping previous, you know, sweeping liquidity while tapping into a higher time frame for value gap or a PD array. And that's exactly what we did. But I guess for me, it happened so fast that I couldn't, I saw my model, and as we were accumulating here, we accumulated, distributed lower, you know, sweeping this low and tapping into this 1 hour. That would have been my entry, but I guess like for me, it just happened so fast that I didn't want to rush anything. So yeah, so as you can see, we have a clear AMD model here. We have a clear AMD model. accumulation, distribution, manipulation, and then distribution higher to the upside, all the way up here, but I would have got out as soon as we entered that gap. So yeah, this candle happened pretty fast, happened in like a minute. So I just kept going higher, and then once it kind of, after this candle closed, like a minute after, I couldn't find my entry, it was too late. And so I just let it run. And so yeah, that would have been my entry, but I'm not mad about it, as like I don't want to have the thought of like what could have been. But yeah, that's a trade that I had in mind going into the day, but again, it just happened so fast that I didn't want to rush anything. But I did end up taking a fat L. As you can see, I lost 2K. I'm still on eval. I know it's bad, but I am focusing on A plus setups. Obviously, the trade I took today was an A plus. I just saw two of my confluences that ended up not playing out, and I also didn't. I did see, but I didn't, fully capitalize that we were in a consolidation area. That we're going up and down, going up and down. Once I saw something here in CISD created here, um, we did end up displacing higher. So just more of a not an A plus setup at all. The trade that I took, this would have been an A plus setup here if I would have took it. But again, it was too fast for me to enter, so I'm not gonna keep going back to that. So let's go on my trade. So these are my trades on this account so far. These wins, I was up a little bit, and then last night, Asia session, stupid trade. But yeah, I was at school while I hit that trade, so I just let it play out, and then like 5, 6 minutes later, 7 minutes later, I ended up looking at my phone and getting stomped out. So that was whatever. So yeah, let's see where I entered on. I did go for some shorts. 24755. What was it? 714. 714. 714. 714 is here. Mm, 714. Down. I'm having brain farts right now. 24775. 24775. So I entered here for shorts as we, inverse this gap. Obviously, I put my stop. It was a 72 point. I know, um, it's not good to base your stop loss on points, but it was more than my risk to reward. So, and then I ended up going for a small. This is a pretty bad trade. Damn, now that I look at it, because at this point I'm just looking for a quick take profit in order to pass my account. But again, this wasn't an A plus setup. What I did see where my confluence was is we ended up sweeping this tiny liquidity here. Ended up sweeping this tiny liquidity here, and obviously not displacing past it. And I saw this inverse value gap, or this gap here that we ended up inversing downwards and creating a CASD, which I ended up entering off after this candle closed. So I entered off this, I had my profit here and my stop loss after this gap, and boom, ended up coming